Eagles fly. Let's peep the squad. Big Pat, Shell, and Dante, the dark jive. Drop the stats on them. Drop the facts on them. Spur King, baby. Let's get it on.
Hey, fam, it's your man Dante, the Dark Knight. Welcome. Our Philadelphia Eagles are champions. We're Super Bowl champions. Yes, we are. Yeah, we're still excited. I'm sorry that we were not with you guys for post game. After the big win and all. And I really want to apologize for that, because I know that a lot of you guys, we're your lifeline, we're your connection, and the such. But we were like really close to the celebration, and and I had my son who specifically came in town to be a part of the celebration. So I had to make an executive call here and cancel the post game so that we could get down there and take part in the celebration on Broad Street. So we were on South Broad Street. And if you saw any of the stories on Instagram, on our Instagram page, then you saw that we were down there and that we were part of that celebration. But everybody's coming in, man. Yes, welcome. We are champions. Once again, 2-time Super Bowl champions. That's right, Tim Mack. 2-time Super Bowl champions, man. And you never get tired of this, right? But we are a little different than we were at 18, right? Because Pat told us I'm not going down there. I'm gonna watch it from the hotel. Like we wasn't trying to watch the parade from the hotel last time, but now we're a little bougie. Now we're like, I ain't going out there. I'm gonna watch it from the hotel. You seen one Super Bowl parade? You seen them all? No, I'm going down there though, and basically just because my son, he didn't make the first Super Bowl parade for whatever reason. I remember taking him to the Phillies 2008. He was I think he was on the road in 2018, so he didn't make it back here for that first parade. So he's making it his business to make up for everything that he missed on that first Super Bowl on this Super Bowl. So, you know, if you look at if you saw our stories, he's on top of the darn bus stop with all the other fans. I'm like, oh my God, here we go. So I'm just basically there to make sure that he has a helmet. You know, that's what I was doing. So, but we are champions, man. Champs in the house. Damn it, I would have been in the freaking neighborhood homes owners meeting. I'll catch the replay. Go Birds. Yo, it was amazing. It was a domination that some of us did see. I did see this, and we can go check the tape. I tried to be as tactful as I could be, and usually I'm not that way on our program because this is an Eagles fans program. Usually I'm only that way in public when I'm talking to other people, because I was trying to remain humble. I didn't want to jinx us or anything like that. I really felt good about our chances of winning the Super Bowl, and the closest that I could get to saying that what I saw is kind of what I expected was me saying, I don't expect it to be a blowout, but if it is a blowout, I won't be surprised. That's as tactful as I could put it. I think I made statements such as that, like, you know, I don't know if it's going to be a blowout, but if it is a blowout, I will not be surprised. And Definitely. It was a total domination, man. Our Philadelphia Eagles. And for the lay football person, which I don't care about, right? But for the lay football person, for the person that is not a fan of the Eagles, that was a boring football game. That was a boring Super Bowl, right?
We don't care.
But we don't care, because I have literally watched that game about 20 times already. If I could bring my wife in here right now, she'll tell you, no, she'll probably strangle me, actually, because she's tired of seeing the game on. I was just laying in the bed last night with the game on, and she was like on the phone, and I guess somebody asked what she's like, I'm watching this damn game. I'm like, yo, yes, I have this. I don't think that my TV has been off of the NFL Network since we won. You know, every time. True. And you know how the NFL Network is. They play the game back to back to back to back.
They played it 3 times in a row.
You know. So, and I've been watching 3 times in a row. I just have the NFL Network on. I got the game on the loop. I've seen that game about 20 times, and it never gets boring to me. It never gets boring. I'm like, yo, what's up, Queen? How are you? How does it feel to be a Super Bowl champion?
You know how it feels? It feels great to be right. I told y'all. I told y'all to put some respect on my quarterback's name.
Belts
No
to
doubt.
asses, yes.
Belts to
Asses,
asses is
yo.
right. Listen, that's how it feels. I'm excited for them. I'm excited that they're still hungry, and that this wasn't enough for them because they know they
Mhm.
got more left in the tank as a team.
Mhm.
So, just that alone, that even this victory after tomorrow, they're already back at it. It's
Mhm.
already in their
Yes.
head that this wasn't enough.
Mhm.
And I love that about them. This isn't enough. You know what I
Right.
mean?
I saw an Instagram post. I know we didn't start the first quarter yet. I saw an Instagram post was hilarious. This guy, it looked like he just was waking up. He's like, "Oh, is the game over? Oh, we won. We're Super Bowl champs. Oh man, woo! Yes, 2 times in a row. It's not like I didn't know it since halftime."
Listen, you kind of knew. You kind of knew it by like the middle of the second quarter.
Yes,
I was like,
Yeah.
this
yes.
wasn't going well at all for them.
No.
Zero blitz. I want to talk about that. That defense.
The,
What that
I
defense
know
did. What that
that
defense did.
the front four, they're the other MVPs.
Yes,
Mm-hmm. Yep. No,
they
most definitely.
are.
And it's no surprise to me. I open up talking about the D all the time. So, there was no surprise that they did what they did. This was, to me, an historical defense this
It
year. I
was.
mean, by far, the best defense we've had in a very, very long time. I'm not ready to put it over 92 yet. I'm not ready to do that, but definitely 2 or 1B, 92. And then this team here this year and the way they
Mm.
dominated. And I don't want to take away, but let's face it. I mean, and we saw it, right? And we saw it on Sunday, but this Chiefs offense was not scary at all. It was not scary to me at all. I know that the experts and the analysts and everybody were picking them because they thought that this was the Chiefs of, the past 2 or 3 years. But I looked at that offense, man. We faced much better offenses this
Yes.
year than them. So,
Yeah. Mhm.
and
We
then we
face much
handled
better
them.
teams.
Yes, and we
Let's be
handled them.
clear.
So, I mean, in the NFC Championship, the Washington's offense was more threatening than that.
No, the Rams' offense is more threatening than that.
Yeah, the Rams too.
Yeah.
The Rams too.
But let's start this quarter, Dark Knight, because I gotta get this celebrational shot because I gotta let you know something.
All right. I forget. All right, so you are watching Eagles Talk, the most unique Eagles coverage show around. That's by us Eagles fans, for us Super Bowl Eagle fans, Super Bowl champion Eagle fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team, that is the Philadelphia Eagles. We do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. And this is a special shot because we are Super Bowl champions once again. Once
That
again.
looks empty to me.
It's incredible, man. I was telling my wife, well, I'll finish in a minute. All right, so we watched it. We're going to take another shot for our champion Philadelphia Eagles, 2-time Super Bowl champs, who demolished the Kansas City Chiefs. So everybody, let me know what you're drinking. Pat is doing the Woodford Reserve. I know what he's doing.
I'm out of Woodford Reserve.
Oh, he's
I
out of
cracked
Woodford
open.
Reserve.
I got me a new bottle of Blanton's.
Oh, Blanton's. Oh, he stepped it up. That's top stuff right there. All right, I know. I remember. I remember.
I gotta open it now.
All right, yes, the Blanton's. What are you doing, Nichelle?
Just cranberry. Just cranberry.
All right,
I'm
I
on
got a little
what you want right now. I had a shot of tequila earlier, but I still need to eat some more. I had a little snack, but I'm hungry. I was working late.
All right. So let me know what you guys are drinking as we take this celebratory shot for our Philadelphia Eagles, who it was basically BTA on Sunday.
BTA.
BTA, and not an ass was spared. Not an ass was spared. All right, here we go. So down the dash we go. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the
All right, Pat, tell me what's on your mind, man. I mean,
That is good. I'm sorry.
20 times already, and and it's funny. Like every time I watch it, they still dominate. There's a domination every time I watch it.
Well, we all know that we all saw the domination by the defensive front. 0 blitzes, 16 pressure, 6 sacks. But the key word is 0 blitzes. We got after Pat Mahomes with just our front four. With the guys that was outcast, like Nolan Smith, he's going to be a bust. Jalen Carter is a head case. He got double teamed all game that would allow Milton Williams to get 2 sacks. Josh Sweat, who we say we can't play because he got bad knees, had 2.5 sacks. Yes, if they didn't give the MVP to Jalen, it might have went to a defensive lineman or Cooper DeJong.
Absolutely.
That defense, Vic Fangio put on a masterclass of how you play against a soon-to-be Hall of Fame quarterback, right? Pat Mahomes, you put him up there as a GOAT. He knocked him off that GOAT mantle
Not the GOAT.
very early.
Brady even said, like,
No.
I'm sorry, you ain't even touching my ring count right now.
No, listen, he
He's
made that.
Not the GOAT. Like, Jalen's in a position to catch up to him.
I truly believe what you talked about before we started this quarter, that hunger with AJ, that hunger with some of these other players are be back. I think they enjoyed more of the journey than the actual destination.
Amen.
And they want to do that journey again. He talks about that all the time. It's the journey that excites him, that he loves to do. AJ even put it in the post that he feels unfulfilled because even though they won the ultimate goal, he needs to get back in the gym. He needs to get back on the field. He needs to do more because he needs to accomplish something. That's not just an individual statement. That's for a team saying, you know what, we're not through with this one individual championship. I know we said it in 2018. We thought we were going to have a dynasty. That's it. This is the beginning of a three-peat, this and that. But it was something different about that team. That team had more veteran leadership, right? This team is one of the youngest teams in the NFL. The defense
in Super Bowl history, they were the second youngest Super Bowl winning team.
Yes, and it's going to be outstanding to see this team accomplish what they need to continue to accomplish, to continue to fulfill that fire. But I got to go back to that defense. I know Dark Knight was like
they were monsters. Man.
I know Dark Knight said you can't put them against the Bud Carson or Buddy Ryan or Jim Johnson. That defense, the number one ranked defense in the NFL. In Eagles history, I have to put that number one. I have to put that performance number one. When we go back and look at all these different games in the Super Bowl, see which defense was the best in the NFL. Listen, at one point it was 34-0. Do you hear me? 34-0.
What does that say? They was pitching a shutout. The only reason, listen, they scored once with first team. All them other junk points came because we had our backups in. We put backups in the Super Bowl, y'all.
Nichelle.
Backups.
Listen to this real quick.
Backups in the Super Bowl.
Kenny Pickett played in a Super Bowl before Dak Prescott.
Let's talk about that. But listen to this. In the fourth quarter, with 4 minutes and 25 seconds remaining, Pat Mahomes was 17 for 28, 187 yards, 2 interceptions. The score was 40-6.
And I'm impressed. I'm not impressed. I'm just I don't know. I don't want to take anything away from the defense, but I can say it now that the mighty Chiefs were not mighty at all to me. They were not mighty, and maybe because we made them not mighty. We made them not mighty, but they were not the mighty. I was so angry at all the analysts picking the Chiefs, and you could clearly see talent-wise, if you went down the roster, talent-wise, we were superior to them. Superior. They were only picking the Chiefs because of Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid. That was it. It was only because of them that everybody had hopes that they would win. Because if they were true football people, they could look at the damn roster and see that we had much more talent on our roster than they did.
Definitely.
Come on, man. So that was only the Mahomes and Andy Reid factor that everyone was jumping on that bandwagon, and I'm glad they did too, because that helped us in the Vegas thing too. Because I always think Vegas be having something to do with it, right? But all the analysts putting the money on Kansas City like that, that was great for us.
Oh,
Man, I still lost some money. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I don't know what people were looking at all season. We knew that the Chiefs had all these close games all season. They were clutch all season, but they weren't dominant
right
in any of their games. The only thing that got them all those wins was being clutch. And that clutch game is only going to last so long if you can't bring some dominance, if you can't bring some defense, if you can't start separating yourself. They had many, many, many close games this season. Not saying we didn't have any close games either, but they didn't have any dominant performances like that on the regular. It was always clutch. It was always last minute wins. It was always pulling a trick out there behinds. That's how they won all year.
Definitely
and
how they
then
won, yeah.
the frauds that is the entire AFC, because they had all these wins, that lets you know who's the stronger, more punch them in the mouth division is the NFC.
Yeah, actually.
You know what I mean? They thought because they had the
Well, we got to put brakes on that.
What?
We got the damn North, that the Minnesota Vikings. that division is fraud. Yo, I'm sorry.
Listen,
they need to be over there with the
that's
AFC.
fine. But I'm just saying overall, let alone letting you know that the NFC East is the only one that has all of our teams have chips.
We're more physical. NFC East,
we're physical.
They talk about
they're flashy and we're physical.
They talk about how NFL lease, right? They call it NFL East the NFL lease, but the NFL East is the more physical team than any of these other NFC teams
with the most chips out of all divisions.
Yep, you facts. The most Super Bowl championships out of any division in the NFL comes from the NFC East, and now we can count ourselves as multiple Super Bowl ring winners ourselves, and with a great chance, like Pat touched on, with great chance of making it multiple Super Bowls within the next 5 years because of our team being so young, because of the excellent job. And I can't, if Jalen didn't get MVP, if Sweat didn't get MVP, if Coop Gene didn't get MVP, it should go to Howie. Howie definitely deserves MVP for putting together this roster such as it is and having us set up for the near future to continue this type of run. Second youngest team in Super Bowl history, right? Which means that we have a lot of people that are under contract. We got a lot of control over these young boys for a couple of years. We don't have to worry about them. And how he works his magic. He's going to make sure that we keep that talent level up. I was just having a conversation with someone today that was saying, well, what is it with these dynasties? Like, how do they fall off? So I said, because dynasties are established because you have historically good players playing on the team, right? And they win games, but those players get old. And once they get old, it's hard to replace historically good players with more historically good players. You don't know that these teams are historically good. I mean, these players are historically good until they do it. But once you do it, once you get a Tom Brady, it's not easy to find another Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? Once you get a Pat Mahomes, it's not easy to find another Pat Mahomes. Once you have a Travis Kelce, it's not easy to find another Travis Kelce. You know what I'm saying?
Keep going. You're not done. Once you have a Jalen Hurts, it's not easy to find another Jalen Hurts.
But I named those past because they're past their prime. We are in our prime. So we have these players.
No, Dark Knight, I got to stop you right there. We at the beginning of our prime.
All
You
right.
got two outstanding rookies that you drafted last year. You got a defensive line that you put together there. One of them just coming off their rookie contract. One of them is still on their rookie contract, right? Two of them actually are still on a rookie contract with Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, and Nolan Smith. Three of them, sorry. You know, we look at the offense. The oldest statesman on that offensive line is Lane Johnson. Lane Johnson is the oldest statesman. The second oldest statesman is Jordan Mailata. These guys were signed for multiple deals. The only person that's not signed, that's not on that line, is Mikael Becton. Like, this is a team that's going into their prime, Dark Knight and Nichelle.
But we still haven't identified all of our historically good players because they're so damn young, right? They're so damn young. We know Jalen Hurts is on this way, right? We still can't even define all of them because nobody is anybody until there's somebody. These guys are still making a name for themselves. You know what I'm saying? By the time the end of this run is over, we may have a few Hall of Famers on this team. You know what I mean? It's too early to call. But they had a conversation on Sports Talk the other night. I was listening in the evening, and the question was, in the next 5 years, if we don't win another Super Bowl, is that disappointing?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I said the same thing. Yes, I do
absolutely
agree. It's disappointing.
I want to win another.
Are we bougie
They
for thinking that?
Yes.
No.
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
Yes,
We are.
Well,
Yeah,
you gonna
we
say
are.
no? Yes, we are.
No,
we
we're
are.
not.
We
I
want more.
refuse to
Look,
accept
We
that.
want more. We got $1 million.
We had
We want
none,
two.
and now here we are talking about we're going to be mad as hell if they don't win another.
I wouldn't
we had
say we're
none 7
bougie,
years
but
ago.
now we're
we got
greedy.
two.
Look, the
Yeah,
bar
we
has
are.
been raised.
Yeah.
You can't have boots to ass, belts to ass, beat that ass of the Chiefs like that and not expect us not to think we're going to win like 50 more chips. Real talk.
Facts.
Come
Like,
on
yo.
now.
And
You
I
picked
love
him
that.
off.
I
You
love that.
sacked him. Like, they wasn't even, nobody wanted the smoke. And it started the week before with the smoke when we put up 5-5 on Washington.
Yes.
And the golden boy, Jaden Daniels.
We put double
Come on
nickel
now.
Look,
the
man,
best team in
they were sleeping on us all year, right? I mean, they would have
We got no respect this season. We didn't even get respect after winning.
I know.
No, we
They would
don't.
give us they would have brief moments of clarity. And I'm talking about the announcers and analysts. They would have brief moments of clarity. Well, where after a game, they'd be like, oh, the Eagles look great. And then, a game or two later, we don't dominate in the same way. They're back to disrespecting us. And I'll use the Baltimore game. After the Baltimore game, they was giving us mad respect. A couple games after the Carolina game, we were back to, I don't know about them. I don't know. You know what I mean? They were just failing to recognize what we were seeing every week. We were seeing it every week. We were seeing a team that that could win in a multitude of ways.
That confuses people because the sports pundits, local and national media, instead of seeing that this team's identity, that is their identity, is the fact that you don't know what you get in week to week. You want a throwing team, you could get that. You want a running team, you can get that. You want a 50-50 balance team, you can get that. And people are they just can't reconcile with the fact that we beat you any way we need to beat you, any way we feel like beating you. We're not doing the same thing week after week. We don't expect our quarterback to have to always put up 400 yards and get MVP and not make it to the Super Bowl. We're trying to get the chip. So winning is our order. And this team has bought into that winning culture, win by any means necessary, where all these other teams have kind of pigeonholed themselves into, this single identity. We're always throwing, for Mahomes, if it's a big Kelsey game, he may not have all the receivers he started with, but he still has really high quality wide receivers. You know what I mean? So they relied so much on the big play. They used to have a decent established running game. I think they went away from that a little bit, the Chiefs did. But we do whatever we need to do. We will change our game plan up week to week, and people don't know how to reconcile with that.
Well,
that's the problem.
You're 100% right with that. Changing up how we win. We went into this game knowing that Spags wanted to stop Saquon. All right. Saquon had 57 rushes off 57 yards over 25 rushes. He had
Hmm.
a total of 97 total yards. He was
Period.
people say, he was a non-factor, but go in between the stats, right? He did everything and anything in his power as a running back by picking up a blitz and allowing Jalen some time to get a ball to Jahan Dotson. In the second half, when we got the ball back, that play action, that deep ball to Devontae Smith, if he's not the main focus, right? If he's not the primary focus for that defense, that play does not happen.
Mhm.
So when that play action happens, you see all three linebackers at the line of scrimmage. Oh crap! Turn they back and they got to sprint. You see the safety; he's already out. He stopped running. You see the corner wasn't expecting the speed of Devontae Smith was already beat because he thought
He
he had
was out.
help over top. Right? That's the effect of when you have everybody buying into just winning the game. Not my
Period.
stats,
Selflessness.
not my
Mhm.
stats,
Selflessness.
but we have a goal as a team, and the goal is to win. It doesn't matter how we win. We can throw for 400 yards. We can run for 400 yards.
Hmm.
What's the outcome? It should be a W. And that's a philosophy that a lot of players on this team is taking. I know some people are those selfish. They say AJ Brown is selfish. He wanted stats here and
And it's
there.
bullshit. I'm gonna tell
He
y'all that
listen,
right now.
he's an excellent blocker. He's an excellent
Yeah.
blocker.
I mean,
Hmm.
and to answer that, I think that his words were taken out of context. I've heard some that
Mm,
their perception of his take or his post on Instagram was negative, but I see it as he's just in love with that process. He loved the the journey of
yes.
getting to where they got. And I always say that the journey is way more valuable than the destination.
Hmm.
It really is, because you are transformed into a new person
Hmm.
by the time you get to the destination. And that's more valuable than the destination. For instance, if you're trying to work your way into being a millionaire, the journey of learning how to be a millionaire is more valuable than to actually get the $1 million.
Hmm.
Because once you lose the $1 million, you can
You
do
gotta
it
know how to
again.
get it back.
Yeah, you know how to do it because you went through the process.
You
It
gotta get
wasn't
the
just
next
dropped in
million.
your lap. You figured out how to get to $1 million. And same way with this team. This team has figured out the formula of how to win a championship. So it's more valuable than actually getting a championship, because now they can go and repeat what they've just done. So I didn't see it like that. And I do want my star players to want to do better and want the ball. If I
Hmm.
have outstanding players that do not want to showcase what they can do, why would I want them?
Hmm.
You understand?
Hmm.
Why would I want them if I had a Michael Jordan who didn't want to shoot? Why would I want him? I want a AJ Brown to want to dominate. I want a Devontae Smith to want to dominate. I want to say Saquon Barkley, but they all have enough humility and mature emotional intelligence to subdue what they could be doing in the for the good of the team, right?
That part.
What's Sirianni saying? What was the slogan for this year? You can't be great without the greatness
Of others.
Around
without the
you.
greatness of others,
Mhm.
Yep,
right? You
that's
can't be
right.
great without the greatness of others. And this team embodied that spirit all year long. And what I love about it, and you talked about it, Pat, is that they want to do this again.
Yeah.
They already have a hunger to do this again. We haven't even had the parade yet. The parade's tomorrow, and this team is already talking about, and not braggadociously either. Not
Mm.
braggadociously. Like, they are eager to do this again. They are eager to set themselves apart. And that's the new mission now. The mission this year was just to win after losing in 22, right? Was just
Mhm.
to get back there and get the championship. Now the new mission is, yo, we want to do it again. We
Yeah.
want to do
Period.
it
And they
again to
said it.
prove.
They said it in the last 2 minutes of the game on the sideline.
Mhm.
Like they didn't have enough. And going back to the AJ point, it's unfortunate that people look for clicks, views, and their hot takes
Mhm.
in a win with someone like AJ and the constant piling on the young man. I'm not for it. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, you got to be tough. That's what this is." And you're in the public eye, but being in the public eye doesn't mean that people lack emotional intelligence, to Dante's point of being just toxic.
Mhm.
Being just toxic. You know what I mean? This is somebody that advocates for mental health, had a little suicide issue before, and it's just like you're not even cognizant enough to know to not go with your first thing and say, "Oh, what negative can I say? Let me call him a diva. Let me see that he doesn't like his quarterback. He doesn't like this. He doesn't like that." And it kind of burns me because people rather spread a narrative because it gets more engagement online than actually just letting them free flow with their feelings and free flow with their commentary. They're not saying anything negative. But
Mhm.
people are twisting and contorting themselves to get something negative out of it. And I'm sorry, that burns me up. People
Well,
may not
that's
all feel the same. Y'all
Mhm.
may think, "Oh, toughen up, tough skin." I call bullshit on that.
Well,
Being toxic
that's
all the time is
Mhm.
is lame. It
It
doesn't
is.
it doesn't help the vibe of this team just being toxic because you want to have something to say. Shut up. If you ain't got nothing nice to say, shut up.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
that's right.
let me go. Let me stop because I've been ignoring you guys. Our fourth
I
co-host.
haven't been. I've been putting your
I know
comments
she's
up.
been putting them up there, but all right, let me go back. This one is a good one. Eric says, um, Colin Coward, aka Cowherd, said, "I don't think the Eagles get into the red zone once." Yeah, I remember that statement. But how
Yeah,
did that work
right.
out for them and the thefts? Also, what's my man Nick Wrong? I call him Nick
Nick
Wrong now
Nick
because
wrong, right? The
yeah, no,
quarterback
Nick Wrong.
pyramid.
That boy is so wrong. I mean, he's been talking smack all year, and he has been wrong, and none of it aged well. All the way back to when we signed Saquon, he was like, "I don't think that they need Saquon. They think Saquon is going to come, and Saquon is not the answer. The Eagles have a lot of problems. They need." Oh, that was wrong. Even before the game in the tunnel, he was saying that the Chiefs were going to win, and it wasn't going to be close, and just all wrong all year long.
And he
Eddie
still
says,
got a
simply
job.
put, I know it's crazy. Simply put, Eagles played their game. They wanted W's, not flashy stats.
Right.
Definitely right. Definitely right on that, Eddie. Let me see. Uh, Stephen says nobody stops Barkley in the fourth quarter. Well, I can't lie. They did slow Barkley down. They did their job, but they sold out to do that job, and we have a complete offense. So they sold out, and if you sell out for the run, that leaves you exposed to the pass, and we can do that. And what gets me right, and I kept telling people, I said, why don't these people recognize that that's the same Jalen Hurts you saw 2 years ago? The
It's
same
been the
one.
same.
Like this. What have y'all forgotten? Like this is the same guy who outplayed Pat Mahomes 2 years ago.
Yeah,
This
I
is the
played him again.
same guy who was the runner-up MVP 2 years ago. He did not change. And it just baffled me that people did not recall that. And I think what it was is maybe last year because he had the turnovers and the such that they thought that
He's not
that year
allowed
was an
to.
anomaly. But
But
that year was
everybody else
not an
was
anomaly.
everybody else was allowed to have turnovers. He didn't put up any less or more numbers than the other top QBs side of yards. But in terms of, yes, did he have some high turnovers? But if you look at the history of some of the top quarterbacks, they've all had seasons with high turnovers. The more you air it out, for all you stat folks that want to see 4,000, 5,000 yards every season, the more you air it out, the more what you're going to get, the more picks you're going to get. That's a
More
fact.
pick. And there's also the pattern of when quarterbacks have their not near perfect, but let's say their best season, there's always a fall off the next year. There's always been. Go check it throughout the trend throughout history. Is there always come back a little down to earth the next
Mhm.
season, So was regular, but he was still the same guy. Tony Byrne, I thought this was a good one. Our biggest weapons on defense, Carter, and offense, Barkley, had relatively quiet games on Sunday, and we still put up a 40 burger. That says it all. That
Listen,
says it all.
They
They had
because that
ordinary
Barkley
days.
carrying hurts, right? Remember 3 weeks ago? Everybody said that Barkley carried Hurts and carried the offense, but we didn't
Right.
even.
it's a collective thing. It's
Yes.
it's not about this person carrying that person carrying that person. It's a team effort. We need everybody working together to get this W. They don't care about this. That's just the noise outside at NovaCare Center. And I'm so happy that they have that leader in Jalen Hurts that can actually refocus the team and say, you know what? I don't care if I don't have to throw for 300 yards. I can throw for 117 yards. Well, Saquon is doing his thing. AJ Brown is getting his targets. I'm happy. I don't have to be the focal point of the offense. And AJ Brown took that philosophy after that statement of saying passing. You say, you know what? It's the team overall. He still got his yards, but it's a team overall. And they start playing for each other. They've been playing for each other since after that Buccaneer game. And it's been a miraculous thing, especially when the insertion of Cooper DeJean into the slot corner. That whole change that changed the whole philosophy from Avante Maddox being out of place all the time. And he actually had a pass breakup. He actually had a pass breakup.
He actually had a big pass breakup in the Super Bowl.
To now Cooper DeJean being, I call him DeJean, being the catalyst that makes this defense go. Because you need a guy that's inside that can take on the better slot receivers in this NFL. Because if you don't, you're gonna get burned like we did last year.
Yeah, and shout out to Zach Bourne, taking the reins to call the plays out there.
Mm-hmm.
For the defense. You know what I'm saying?
Man, this defense was phenomenal. I see this defense carrying on that superb play in years to come, in at least the next 2 or 3 years. And as long as that's possible, then we have a chance. The name of the game is to end up with more points than them. And if we got a good defense, we got a good chance of that happening. 17 points, which it takes me back to, it reminds me of Jim Johnson, because that was his number. If I can, 17, no more than 17, we should win games. And that's what they averaged this year, 17.6 to be exact. Only giving up 17.6 points a game, and that was dominant in itself. And it was dominant even in the Super Bowl. I mean, the Chiefs had just broke the 30-point mark against the Buffalo Bills. That meant in the 18th or 19th game of the season, they were just scoring over 30 points. I was not scared of this team. I was like, yo, we have played much better offenses and shut them down. I mean, much higher scoring offenses and shut them down. And you guys only averaged 22. They only averaged 22 points a damn game in the regular season. I was not afraid of this offense at all. And
Seth said it. He said, I'm not afraid of the damn Chiefs.
The Chiefs.
And I want to give props to Nick Sirianni for his emotional intelligence, because it is clear that Nick has the personality, he has the drive, he has the passion, and he has the emotional intelligence to coach this kind of generation of football. And that's one thing I think kind of escapes Andy Reid, is dealing with personalities. And not all personalities, just because they get passionate or they may catch an attitude or you may have some inner team beef. Nick knows how to let them have that, but still come together as a team where they're allowed to show their emotions, but get it all out on the table. But still, at the end of the day, they're like, we still don't care. This is family stuff. Mind your business. We could argue with each other, but it ain't really your business that we arguing with each other. And that's what I think this team was trying to let us know all season. And Jordan Mailata said it best. He's like, we don't give a F what anybody outside this locker room says. If we want to yell and have a family squabble, that's our family squabble. Stay out of it.
Squabble.
Squabble up. Hey, shout out to Kendrick Lamar in the halftime show. Most watched Super Bowl. And the most watched Super Bowl in history came with this Eagles win. Come on, stop playing with me.
Speaking of halftime, real quick, Eagles 24 points, the Chiefs 23 total yards.
Yes, we had
We
more
have
points
more
than they
points
are
than they
yards.
had yards.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That is a great stat
it was
line.
crazy.
it
It was
was.
Oh, could you
It was.
crazy.
imagine betting on that?
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness,
I need to
man.
take my shot. I need to take another celebratory
Okay,
shot.
yeah, I forgot.
Give
We
you
got
props 'cause, he catches. I gave him heat for the vanilla offense, but I never gave him heat for how he was relating to the team. And I think a
Mhm.
lot of coaches could take some notes on how to coach a new generation of
Yeah.
players because you're going to have to evolve. You can't coach like this is the 80s. You can't even coach like this is the early 2000s anymore.
no,
You know
you
what I
can't.
mean? Sir, you can coach fundamentals and those things, but in terms of emotionally getting your players to buy in and the right things to say and the right levers to pull and how to deal, like these kids are coming into the league and they have more language on how to talk about their feelings.
Mhm.
We whether we like it or not, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
It is a gridiron. There's some man sport, beat your chest and all that testosterone shit, but they're not beat for that. They want to say what they want to say, when they want to say it, and how they want to say it. And you have to know how to contain that, how to let it out when it needs to be let out, and how to tame it when it needs to be tamed. Because Nick is like that. He has that emotional intelligence to handle that. That I don't think a lot of coaches could handle the personalities that he does.
I think that's an excellent point, and he did do an excellent job. I've been apologizing all season, and I'll continue to do so. Sorry, Nick, wanted to jettison you out of there after last year, but you have proven that you are the right coach for this team, and you did a marvelous job with how you handled this team throughout the year. The CEO coach title fits you well. You have done a masterful job with the locker room, with the motivation, with the handling of the new millennial personalities that you had to deal with, and keeping them interested and focused, disciplined, and hungry. All of those adjectives to bring home a championship this year. That this is remarkable, remarkable after the way this team looked last year, at the end of last year, and even the first 4 games of this season, to bring it all together and it to look as
Mhm.
dominating as it did on Sunday. It was a
Mhm.
masterful job. I have to take hats off to Nick Sirianni, man.
Definitely.
All right,
Definitely.
so I'm gonna end this quarter though, so Pat can drink before he breaks out and have in hives or something like
Right?
that. All right, so
I got eat this drink. And I need to eat soon, so
all right, so here we go.
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right, you're watching Eagles Talk, the most unique Eagles coverage show around. That's by us Eagles fans for us Eagles fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team, the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. And we like to do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shot. So Pat is doing the Blanton's. That's top shelf. What is that? Bourbon? Top
Yes, it's a bourbon. Yes,
here
the
for people
finest
that
bourbon.
don't know. It's one of the finest bourbons around. I'd still know that. And you guys let me know what you are celebrating with. I'm just doing a little tea, and Nichelle is doing, what were you doing? You were just
cranberry.
cranberry juice. All right, so here we go to our Philadelphia Eagles, getting ready for the parade tomorrow. For those in the area, I know you guys are going. I'm going down there. So here we go to our Philadelphia Eagles. Down the hatch. 3, 2, 1. Oh, my fault.
You're now listening to the second quarter.
All right, obviously we won't be making 4 quarters, but that was that was still, man, it's still impressive. And I don't want to get ahead of ourselves about next year, but we do have some free agents coming up. I think, I have all the utmost confidence in Howie in navigating those waters and
Mhm.
bringing back who he can, and even adding, because as great as this team is, the whispers out there is that they may take a shot at Myles Garrett, and that's incredible to be even discussing someone of his caliber being added to this dynamic defense. What's your thoughts on that, Pat? On maybe adding Miles Garrett, but knowing that if you add him, it has to be through a trade. So we're going to lose something, whether it's draft capital or players. What's your feelings on possibly?
I have no problem with that because I'm pretty sure I'm looking at Josh Sweat. He has a Super Bowl, and now he's getting up there. He wants a 4-year contract, I believe, and he needs to get top tier money right now. He restructured his contract to pay the bet on himself this year, and he's going to be a free agent. We probably won't be able to afford him in his service, so we need something to replace that. Bryce Huff, you can get rid of him for peanuts and just say, you know what, we're paying his salary. We just want to get him off our team. So you're gonna need to replace the production that Josh Sweat gave you at that position. And Howie is the master at making things happen. So Myles Garrett, he wants out of Cleveland. He already announced it. He talked to his agents. He's been on a radio row. I can see that happening with us. And maybe giving up a first round draft pick. I understand we don't want to, but you know what? If we have to for Myles Garrett, I'll do it. I will do it.
All right. Jeremiah says, if y'all don't let Nick keep growing them damn flowers.
I know that's right. Grow them flowers, Nick.
Yeah.
Listen? Let's send him a bag of fertilizer, soil, We should send him a whole flower kit.
Yes, we should, man. Send him a whole flower kit, man. The Miracle Grow soil, all that, man.
Yes, all of that.
Send some hoes over there too. Some hoes over there. Because you need the tools. I'm talking about the tools. You need the tools to
You sound like Mike Jarrett just now.
Some hoes. You need the hoes too. Rachel says all those 3,000-yard quarterbacks watch the Super Bowl from where we watched it from home.
Talk about it. Talk about it. Like, what was the goal? And all those people that said, "Oh, we better win the Super Bowl if we sit Saquon." Where you at?
Yeah.
Where you at?
Doubt.
Where you at?
We did. It was well worth it. It was well worth it, man.
And he still broke the all season, all regular record anyway.
Yeah,
I mean, he's
most yards in a season by a running back, including the playoffs.
Ever.
Yes. Yep.
Just to speak about free agents, though, we do have a lot that contribute this year. Mekhi Becton, of course, Zach Bond, Milton Williams, Oren Burks, Isaiah Rodgers, it was restricted free agent, Avonte Maddox, Brandon Graham, who I think is going to retire, Kenneth Gainwell, Fred Johnson, and of course Josh Sweat. So these are like the big time free agents that we're going to be losing. And I think a quarter of these guys are going to be brought back. I definitely think we're paying Zach Bond. I believe we're going to pay
definitely bringing him
we
back.
gotta bring him back.
I think Mekhi Becton wants to come back because he realized his career here, and he realizes that switching his positions, put him with a better offensive line, makes him a better player. It gives him a better option. Isaiah Rodgers, who's going to be the ultimate replacement for Darius Slay. I mean, I could see him coming back on a short-term contract because he said he doesn't want to leave Philadelphia. He already stated that. Milton Williams. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, as you read the people that say they want to come back, that makes it easier to negotiate to get them back. They might take a smaller contract. They might restructure it so they can get that payday and bonuses, because having being on a Super Bowl winning team, it starts to shave down like, oh, I'm just here because they're selfless. They'd rather keep staying on a Super Bowl winning team than, oh, I could get a couple extra million, but I got a ring and I'll probably get another ring or maybe another 2 rings. So this changes the whole dynamic of how he gets to negotiate with these guys.
Yeah, he does. He gets to negotiate with these guys. And also Milton Williams, he needs to get started. I perceive this, right? The 3 main guys you have to bring back is Zach Bond, Mekhi Becton, and Milton Williams. Those are the 3 major ones you have to bring back. Tier 1 is Isaiah Rodgers. I think he will be back. And Kenneth Gainwell, even though he is pretty much a secondary running back, we have about $20 million in cap space that we can work with right now at this time. And the cap is only going to go up and start a new season. So everybody say we don't have money for this, and we're going to have money. In a way, how he does it, we're going to have money to do whatever we doggone want. And these contracts, how they're gonna be made. I mean, listen, Howie is a genius at doing it, and Howie I trust right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Brad Mitchell said you can't keep banking on Howie kicking the money down the road or Howie add dummy years.
He has been doing it for the
I,
last
I'm
10
not.
years.
Look, I can bank on it. It's worked. I got 2 Super Bowls from Howie doing whatever the hell he did. You know what I'm saying? So I can bank on it. Him performing like you just explained at the bottom of my screen is how we got 2 Super Bowls in 7 years. So whatever he's doing, I can bank on it. It's working. You know what I mean? And we're in better position after this Super Bowl than we were when we won in 2017. In actuality, if we compare the 2 Super Bowl wins, 17 was a fluke. This one was not a fluke. 17 was a process that had been accelerated by the confidence of the way that team performed that year. It was not, and I'm not saying that they didn't come in to do their best, but they were still in the process of putting this roster together to compete again. It just came together a lot sooner than they thought. But this year, this was a plan that has over a few years developed into this team that we have now. This was deliberate, and this team is going to continue to win. And yes, I will be very disappointed if we do not win at least one more in the next 5 years. We're built that way.
I want 2 more.
Yeah, I do too. I would just like to give a shout out to Carson Walk it to him, Wentz. It's because of the draft capital you were able to bring us. We were able to acquire Devontae Smith,
sir.
A.J. Brown, Jalen Carter, and Cooper DeJean. Thank you.
What
Yes,
What you think was going through his head?
Oh my goodness!
Oh
Another
no,
one of my
not
backups.
again.
Another one of my backups.
No,
oh no, not again.
He's scarred for life. Y'all know that, right? He's scarred for life. I would be.
He is.
I would be. He already didn't handle it the first time. Well,
No,
and he was
didn't.
on this team, so just
Look,
you know
I love Big Red, but I love seeing Big Red confused as hell on Sunday. He looked like he was confused as hell. We beat Andy so bad that he went back to his Eagle days.
school Andy.
He went back to old school Andy. He forgot to run the ball.
He glitched out, y'all. He glitched out.
Yo. I was like, Andy is short circuited on the sideline. He just abandoned the run altogether in the first half. He just locked in like, all right, we got to get back in this game. We got it. It's just what we want the opponent to do.
What do you think? Did they show any footage of what they said during during halftime in their locker room?
So they're going to give you a further breakdown, even though they did some things already, did some mic'd up stuff like that.
Yeah, I saw the mic'd up joint too. I done seen it all, bro. I done seen everything this week. When they did the mic'd up joint, they would like, they want to sound like, come on, if anybody can do it, we could do it.
Yeah.
If anybody can do it, we can do it. I'm like, nah, bro. Y'all not going to do it today.
They're going to put some more. They're going to put some more material out there soon. Because that's how they keep the ratings up, right? That's how you keep your ratings up.
Yeah, Chris Jones.
Man, listen, they ran the ball. They ran the ball a total of 11 times.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Andy was glitching out. I was like,
and it's not like they don't have a decent running back score. How you not let homie from South Jersey run in the Super Bowl?
It was panic. It was straight.
I don't even remember him getting his name called. How many times did Pacheco even get the ball?
Pacheco got the ball. I tell you right now, he got the ball 3 times.
3 times.
3 times.
3 times.
Look, we won this game. And it's appropriate that we did it this way. But we won the game the same way we were winning games in 22. Remember we were jumping up on people?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were forced to go all pass, and then we would just pin our ears back and go get the quarterback. That was the program right there. We got up on them so quick, and they went, and Andy just abandoned the run and panicked. And went to the pass, and we just pinned our ears back and kept going to get Mahomes. I was like, I can't believe this. This is so 2022.
Yeah,
and he crashed out. Yes,
they didn't know what to do. If you go back, if you watch Travis Kelce, I really think he might retire. because
Yeah.
he really looked like he was outclassed, and he had what 4 catches for a total of 30 something yards,
Yeah, he seemed
39
like
We
yards.
beat the
Like,
super
moisturizer out of Mahomes here.
frustrated.
yeah,
I
so
know that's
that
right,
team,
Miss Rachel.
that team was
It
not
was all
that team was
dry
not
by the end of the
prepared.
game.
That team was not prepared for what they went up against, and you saw it early and often. They were dropping passes, easy passes. They were dropping. Mahomes was scrambling for his life. He was his wife told her like the referees ain't doing nothing for my husband. I'm like,
I forget if I said it on one of the pop-up shows I did last week, but if it wasn't there, I must have did it in a private conversation. But I was like, you know what, man, they are not ready for this defense. I said
No.
I would not be surprised if Mahomes had the worst game of the year on Sunday.
Well,
And
the media didn't help the case. You know
nah,
what I mean?
nah.
They downplayed us, and some of them still are. They downplayed the way we punch people in the mouth so
Mm.
much. They besides just downplaying our quarterback, they just oh, this defense is great, yada yada yada, but they wasn't really giving us props. Wait till they come up against this one. Every time it was a whole new test. Every week.
Yeah, yeah.
It was
Every week it was a test. Oh, well, this will be the test if they're a really good defense. We pass all the tests and then some. And then
Yep.
we ran through the whole AFC like they were our bitches. Let's be real.
Yes,
no,
all year.
we beat those teams that they
We went
talk about with
undefeated.
the cream of the crop, right?
Yep.
The Ravens, we beat them.
Washed,
The freaking Bengals, we beat them 37 to
washed,
17. We
Yep.
made Burrow and
Bills,
Jamar Chase
washed,
look like JV players. Like we
Pittsburgh,
really
we beat
the
Pittsburgh.
AFC this year.
washed.
We beat
We beat KC
Buffalo
regular
last
season.
year when we weren't
Washed.
even this good. We weren't even. You saw the team we had last year, and we beat Buffalo.
That was all.
Come on, man.
That's all Jalen last year.
And that was
all
Jalen.
last year.
That was
Who
all
was it?
Jalen.
Who was it?
Jalen.
Hurts. He
Oh.
made
I
it hurt.
remember that.
Okay.
Come on,
So
man.
which one of these MVP QB teams beat us?
Nothing.
Nobody.
I remember, and I talked about it during one of those pop-up shows last week. I heard who was it? It was Dan Orlowski and Stephen A. just disrespecting my man Jalen. They were talking about
It's for
Burrow,
click reviews.
Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts. And Dan Orlowski's like, there's no doubt Jalen Hurts does not have the skill set of these other 3 players. And then Stephen A comes and adds, oh, yeah. He's definitely a distant fourth in among them. He's a distant. And I'm like, what the hell are y'all?
Guess what? He's a Super Bowl MVP. So
Yeah.
if you ranking him anywhere under 1,
Right.
I ain't got nothing for you.
They do this for clicks, right? I want to give you a couple fun facts. Fun fact: Jalen Hurts has made the same number of Super Bowl appearances as Dan Orlovsky has career wins in his entire NFL career. Dan Orlovsky has 2 career wins as a starter. Like this is crazy.
That's why
listen,
he has a whole Nike commercial because even Nike knew that they hated
I
on
love
him.
that. I love that.
You know,
Yeah,
they
that
you
was
know what
good.
it is? Because they hate somebody that wins the way they want to win and not the way you want them to win. And they
Yeah.
can't reconcile with that.
You're right. They want them to win throwing for 400 yards.
Yeah.
Oh, one time
Even some
Brady
of our
threw,
fans.
one
Y'all
time
want them
Brady
to
threw for
win your
400.
way versus what they're good at.
One time
Yeah.
Brady threw for 500 yards against the Eagles in the Super Bowl in 2018, but he lost.
Yeah.
What's 500 yards with an L and you're not hoisting a Lombardi?
Like
I don't want yards. I want the
Pat
Lombardi.
Mahomes, he didn't have nowhere. He would not have over 100 yards or 150 yards passing if we didn't let up on defense. Let's talk about that.
No
It was
doubt.
34-0 before they even crossed midfield at one point.
I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but do we play because now this playoff run to me was revenge tour. I couldn't wait to
We're
get to the
not done the
Commanders.
revenge tour because
Right,
people
and that's what I'm
popped
saying.
off after
Exactly.
the Super Bowl. The
So that's-
Rams, Dak Prescott, everybody's popping off right now.
all
Like
men
we
say
ain't on that.
Brown.
And this is the point I'm making. I'm already looking at next year because I want to get these people. So I know we're going to play Dallas because we got to do that. Do we play the 49ers? next year. I want to see them. Next year.
I'll give me a second. I'll pull up the new.
I know we play. I know our
roster.
home games are the Rams, Dallas, Raiders, Redskins, Giants, and one I'm missing. But you know,
I want.
Amon-Ra St. Brown want to pop off, so he could take an L. He wants that to be our first, because our first the first game we get the home game. So
Oh yeah. I heard that the
So
wide receiver from the Lions, right?
Yeah,
No,
I'm
from
gonna give
the-
you the games. Yeah,
yeah. So he
I
want
give
to
you that
pop
whole.
off. He could pop off. We
I'm
could
gonna give
he
you
could
that
take
whole
that
thing.
L.
So these are the teams.
Dak, you could definitely get that. You could get this work. You
Yeah.
saw what our defense did.
They close to us? Are they close to us? They said we're close to them. Just check. I don't want to say check the record because they're Super Bowl champions, but we're, we listen. That doesn't matter, dude.
Yeah, dog.
Emmitt Smith told
he is 6-1 against us. He is 6-1 against us.
That's fair, but that's
fine.
regular season. You can't even make it to
We have 2 Super Bowl appearances, 2 NFC Championship game appearances, and we have went to the Super Bowl twice before you have made it to an NFC Championship in over 30 years.
And was it 1 or 2 of those wins against our backups because we was in the playoffs and they weren't?
Yeah, in 2017 it was against our backups. In 2022 it was against our backups.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I mean, it
Thank
is what
you.
it is. These are the teams that we play this year. We play the NFC North, so we do play Chicago, Detroit, Green Bay, Minnesota.
We're gonna play Detroit the first game. Watch.
Yeah, we play AFC West this year too. We play KC, the Chargers, the Raiders, and
we're gonna play
Denver.
Kansas City the first game. Watch.
Then we also play a multitude of other games. The Rams, play the Rams again. We play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Falcons.
I want
them the Buffalo Bills.
I want them to. I want all that.
I want all the smoke.
All that smoke. Yo, I want all that smoke.
We beat KC this year regular season, so I'm like,
yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
What do y'all want? Y'all just want different versions of an ass whooping? Is that what we're doing now? You just because you didn't like the way this ass whooping looked, you want us to make it a different way to make y'all happy? Like what? What?
All right, I don't want Detroit on the opening week. I want.
I am scared of Detroit.
I don't want
the Rams in Australia. All right, I want to play the Rams.
That's not next year.
We're not going to. Jeffrey Lurie said we're not going to Australia. He said hell no.
Oh yeah, I did hear something.
That would be a great game.
Because I got Tony all hyped up, and then he said,
I would like to go to that game actually.
I would love to, but he said no.
He said no.
But guess what? We going to the Super Bowl parade tomorrow.
Yes, we are going to the Super Bowl parade, man. Can't wait to see the Eagles pound the Lions. I'm sick of the Lions players talking ish about beating us. Yeah,
they didn't beat us. They have to beat us.
Wasn't this supposed to be their year? Like this was, everybody. This was supposed to be the Lions' year. Everybody picked them in the preseason. The Lions.
Oh,
the Lions,
they were
Lions.
winning. They were winning the Super Bowl by like game 8 this season.
Yeah.
They got more props for being comeback kids out of nowhere than we got for being steady playoff contenders.
Yeah. I can't wait for that matchup. This is crazy. But I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We're Super Bowl champs. We are going to celebrate tomorrow. We are the champions. We're going to continue the celebration tomorrow. I'll be down there. I guess I'm not as bougie as Pat because I'll be out there with the people. I'll be out there.
So let me explain something before you go first.
You're gonna be in the hotel on like
2018
18th floor, looking at it through the window.
You damn right. In 2018, I was right there.
Are you going to the wifey's spot?
Yes, I will be there. In 2018, I was up against the fence watching Jason Kelsey and the guys waiting for forever because it was like 20 degrees outside and I was freezing for them to come down. I had one drink. I had 2 beers. I was still freezing. And you know what? I said, this is great. It was a time to have. Then, we left. I said, we do this again. I gotta be over like in an apartment over there and watching it, throw a party. This time, 8 years later, you get a little bit older. Being out there in that
Yeah.
cold weather is something else. I was out there at 4:00 in the morning in 2018.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
supposed to
see,
be 36.
we went at like, I don't know, 7:30, 8ish, but I went to what's now Victory Brewing Company, TGI Friday. So I went to the WIP thing.
That's where you going again? Or not? You're not
No,
gonna, yeah,
no.
because that's right
Uh,
next door where I won't be at. So I'll be
no,
right.
I know exactly where you're gonna be, but we'll talk after we're offline. But I had went there, with Eagles family. So
Shout out to JT. JT's gonna be JT. If you're listening, if you're not catching the regional rail, you don't need a day pass. The L will be free, courtesy of Kevin Hart and some other sponsors. That's paying for everybody's rides on the L to get to the
Mhm.
Perceptor to get
Hold
back.
on, wait. That's the way I'm going. What? Say that again. What's wrong?
Let me pull it out because I sent it to JT. I'm gonna tell you right now.
I'm planning on parking at 69th Street and catching the Ellen.
All right, I'm gonna tell you right now. Give me 2 seconds while I pull it up. All right. Um, Nickelodeon. Oh, here it is. All right, so where is this that at? I don't know where that went.
Let's
SEPTA.
wrap it up for the people.
Yeah, we
If
can
you're
wrap it
going
up.
to the parade, shout us out. You know,
Yeah.
All right, so SEPTA, in accordance with here it is. SEPTA is making service adjustments and closing some stations to safely accommodate fans for the Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl parade. The parade starts at 11 a.m. at Lincoln Financial Field. The parade will continue north from Broad Street, past City Hall, go around Love Park, then proceed down the Ben Franklin Parkway to the Art Museum. The ceremony will begin at 2 p.m. and wrap around 3:15. Your best bet to and from the parade is from Market Frankfurt line into Broad Street line. Service will run every 6 to 8 minutes, starting approximately at 5 a.m. Please note trains will bypass some stations. There will be free rides on both lines covered by Duracell, Nike, Gran Camino, and a line of premium tequilas founded by Philadelphia native Kevin Hart, an
Grand
official luxury.
Paramino.
Yeah,
It's very tasty, by the way. I've had
it's
some.
okay. It's all right.
I thought it was okay.
An official
Kind of
luxury
sweet.
tequila partner of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Eh,
So if you're not catching the regional line, you do not need a day pass. And if you
Yeah,
don't have a day pass by now, they're sold out anyway.
but that's on the Philly side. If you're on the New Jersey side, not all of our
You
train
better walk.
stations are going into Philly.
Mhm.
So you can do Lindenwold, Ferry Station, City Hall, and I think Ashland or Haddonfield. So
Mhm.
only like 4 stations are going to be open to catch the train. So all the smaller stations won't be open going westbound up
Correct.
until I think 3 o'clock. And then afterwards, they're only making stops at those stations coming eastbound on the way back. So
Mhm.
um I'm
And if
not sure
you
if we're
are
gonna
coming
take the
from
train in yet.
Delaware, I
Go to
do know
69th Street.
something happened. They're doing something from Delaware too. 6 trains to run from Wilmington to Philly for the Eagles parade on Friday. So, yeah,
There you go.
there you go. So I'm going because I got to eat too, and I got to get some good sleep because I'm gonna be up tomorrow and doing a lot of walking and stuff. So you guys, the celebration continues tomorrow. For those that are going to show up at the parade, hopefully I'll see you out there. If not, please enjoy yourselves and enjoy yourselves responsibly and be safe out there because it's going to be
Definitely.
a lot of people,
And it's gonna be cold.
and it's going to be cold.
Can
So,
I give some tips really quickly?
mhm.
If you're coming out there and you're gonna be standing out there for at least 4 or 5 hours, do not wear cotton on your body first. Get some thermal fit clothes that's very warm. That's not cotton.
The moisture
'Cause-
wick.
yes, because if you start sweating because you're hot, because what you put the layers on, it's gonna freeze up. It's not gonna be that cold because the wind is gonna turn the temperature to about 25 degrees outside. So
Mhm.
be safe, drink responsibly. And I look forward to seeing some of y'all if y'all there, because I'll be back at the bar watching it.
All right, I might get with you too, Pat. Sorry.
You're
All right,
like,
okay.
oh, 25. Like, oh, wait a minute.
All right, guys, enjoy yourselves. We'll be back next week because we don't ever quit. So we'll be back next week. We all
Really?
year
I thought
round.
we was on hiatus until what you call it.
No, they are because they,
We got
these guys,
we got
they
training camp. No,
these
not
are the
training camp. We got
stars. They're the
draft.
talent.
After
They,
the draft. After the
they
draft.
got their contract don't include the off-season stuff, but mine does. So I'll be here. I'll be here every week as we go forth. Enjoy yourselves, man. Watch the game. Like I said, I've done watched the game about 20 times. I'm going in there. Nowadays, I walk into the bedroom and I ask my wife, why the game not on? You know what I mean? Because she know what the routine is. Like, why you not at the game? So, guys, enjoy the game. Look at it over and over. It's only enjoyable to us because it's a blowout. Nobody else wants to watch that game, but I love it. I love it. We are champions. All right, we're out, man. We'll see you guys next week. Enjoy yourselves and be safe. Peace.